What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video. What I have here is I have this pink Nintendo Game Boy Advance. Now, what I've been doing now is I just been taking off the buttons, leave them overnight soak. That way they could be cleaned, very clean. You know, when I wake up in the next morning, I just clean out the buttons and they're good to go. But you know, for this Nintendo Game Boy Advance, the shell is in pretty bad shape. This Game Boy is not giving me a sound, so I'm not getting any audio from it. So I gotta get in here and see what exactly is causing the no sound issue. Get that fixed. I'll show you the process on getting it fixed. I kind of have an idea of what it is already, but I'm not gonna use the shell. The shell's all cracked up. It's got a crack right here. It's got a crack right there. It's in rough shape, you know, pretty much what the Game Boy had actually gone through. It's pretty bad. So what we're gonna do is a red shell. Now, kind of awesome thinking about this because I'm gonna do a red on a red with red buttons and red little squishies. So this is gonna be a red on red Game Boy Advance. So anyway, I'm gonna take that pink one apart and we'll get started. See you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. So, you know, after taking it apart, I had this little piece fall right off, and I'm not exactly sure what this little piece is, but I am gonna glue it, not glue it, I'm gonna solder it back on. So I'm gonna solder it back on. I do have a little rust from the screen. For some reason, this screen got wet. It looks like it had water damage. As you can see, it's got a little bit of corrosion there. It is not bad, but the outside of the screen started to rust, which started leaking onto the board here, which, you know, it didn't go through. It just needs to be cleaned. So I'm gonna work on that. I know that the board does turn on. It did turn on me earlier. I haven't tried to turn it on yet, but look at all that debris. The speaker's good, but it's just debris from, I guess, the metal shavings from the rust. But anyway, let me get this piece back on. I'm gonna get my soldering iron and, you know, work on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I went ahead and soldered that little piece back in. All I really did was I put my tweezers on it, my self-pressure tweezers on there, put a heat gun to it, and well, the results speak for themselves. It's nice and intact on there, pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and test it out. Give me a second. I gotta get a screen, put it on there, and I'll be back when I'm ready to test. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Anyways, I got that nice and clean now. I haven't tested it yet. I kind of wanted to do it together. Hang on, I just got one more little. I like to try to keep them as clean as possible. That way, I know that whoever gets them are gonna have something of value. The motherboard was already in great condition. The only thing that was wrong is that they had that smashed up screen in here, and it just put rust all over here in this area. But I got that taken care of. That rust is off now. Got this all cleaned up, free of flux. It looks great. It looks original. Man, let's test this speaker out, see if I got it. I did clean the volume, and I did open up the contact that's there for when you put in a headphone jack, because usually if that's dirty and the bridge is open, then you're not going to get any audio. I don't remember if I left the audio how do you say, volume all the way up. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had somebody at the door. I had to answer that. Anyways, like I said, I don't know if I have the volume up or not, but let's see what happens. Oh, there it goes. I got my sound back. Jeez, now that I don't Now I'm used to hearing the amp on these Game Boy mods. No, Game Boy upgrades. That this starting to sound low now to me. So maybe it's a good thing I put an amp on my Game Boy Metroid that I built not too long ago. But anyway, man, this is a complete 100% fixed Game Boy Advance. Now let's install it in this, and I'll cut into it in a few minutes. So if you give me a few seconds, I'm gonna get this prepped, and we'll go from there. See you in a few. I'm back. I'm cutting in real quick. I just want y'all to see that those the first couple of pins I've already pulled up, and you can kind of tell they're higher than the other ones, but I'm gonna continue pulling all these pins, so that way I know you'll have a good working Game Boy Advance. Yeah, you can tell right there. Anyway, I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, I'm back real quick. So I'm gonna go into detail in what I normally do with these builds, because for the ones I've already purchased from me, just know every build is identical to the way I put these together. For one, when this board goes on here and connected, I put an adhesive strip here so it adhesives to the LCD screen and it doesn't move. When things move is when things go in, when there's a problem. When things move is when problems occur, and I really don't like that. So with that said, what I do is I put spacers. Not only do I get spacers from the kit to put them in here, but I put spacers on the LCD screen so it doesn't move. I don't want it to move. When I do that, I always get a perfect placement. And it's something that I've done ever since my first upgrade. So for those of y'all that are wondering, maybe he doesn't find a way to secure the screen. No, even when this board goes on, when this board goes on like that, I have pre-cut out, here it is, foam, and that foam goes in between this board, and when this one gets installed, that puts pressure on that board to put pressure on the LCD screen. And it's not a lot of pressure where you could damage the LCD screen. It's just enough pressure to hold it in place. I'll admit, I've dropped one of my Game Boy mods. Actually, one that actually sold not too long ago. I dropped it. I held it back because I didn't know what condition it was going to be in. Go and behold, not a problem. It did not skip a beat. I turned it on. I played it myself for about a day and a half, because normally I put these on I drain batteries just by doing this. I put them on a bench test, and I'll leave a game playing overnight. And in the morning, if this LCD is still working, if the game's still working, boom, it's ready, it's good to go. And that's what I do with all of these. After this video's done, that's what happens to them. They go on a bench test overnight. I have a hard time sleeping, so sometimes I wake up like at 2 or 3 in the morning. I come and check on them. They're still working. I just shut them off. But I always start them off like around 10 or 11. And then I wake up like around 2 or something in the morning because I can't sleep. I have just too much on my mind. And I look at them and turn them off and I go to sleep. Or sometimes if I don't wake up, I wake up the next morning ready to go to work. First thing I do is I check on my Game Boys, make sure they're still working. But anyway, I'm gonna continue with this build, and once I have this on tidy up, I'll come back. I'll be back. Okay, everybody, I am back. So the screen is in. Needless to say, everything went pretty flawless. Man, that looks, this came out better than I thought, honestly. A nice clean motherboard. My sponge is right there pressing that down. Anyway, let's fire this thing up. I just hope the screen works. I should have tested the screen before I installed it, but I didn't. So let's see. Oh man. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. So I'm gonna continue with this build. I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting things together, you know, get it out the way, and show you the final product in a few minutes, or in this case seconds, because for me it'll be like minutes, but for y'all it'll be like seconds. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. So, man, this thing looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm pretty satisfied with all the buttons functionalities except for these. Oh gosh, I have to modify these things. This is the one thing that takes forever. Cause see how it's squished down? It's not even bouncing back up. This one kind of bounces up a little bit, but it's not supposed to be like that. Y'all know how it's supposed to be. But anyway, man, give me 30 minutes. Let me mod these little buttons. I mean, they're okay. They're good quality buttons. But they just don't know how to design them. Like how to make them fit to a shell. Oh, are you serious? Anyways, let me get going on these guys. I'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. So, what an effort that took. So anyway, if you remember from the last couple of seconds of a video how the buttons weren't springy. So now, all right. Now, got them very springy, okay? Now, keep in mind, it is an aftermarket shell, so we're just really going here for aesthetics. It looks good. It feels almost like the way a Game Boy Advance should feel, but you know, it's not going to be 100% like, you know, a natural Game Boy Advance would feel. But man, I got these nice buttons on here the best that I could. And just so you know, so these feel very normal, but these I try to get them as normal as possible, but they are not stuck the way they were earlier. But this is more than perfect. It's almost what it should sound like. I'm very close. I'm gonna go grab a Game Boy Advance. That way you can see the difference. Here we got, oh, even these, okay, this is not a good example. That's an original one, but it's not the best one. Oh. Okay, this is the way they should feel or sound. Okay, and these feel a little better than these. I think that these springs are kind of worn down. But anyway, this is working the way it should. I got it all together. Haven't put the sticker on. My screws are in. Let's give it a test. I haven't. Oh gosh, I've been concentrating on those left and right triggers that I have not even begun to test out. Excuse me. Oh, I just ate any of the buttons. But we're gonna test them out right now. All right. Look at that, like a champ. That works. Man, I just love it when it just starts right like that. Keep putting my thumb over it, sorry. Yeah, that feels good. That honestly, that does feel good. If I don't like it, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make it feel good. And these feel good. It's natural to the touch. Oops, sorry, I wasn't pressing it hard enough. natural to the touch. Start, select. Man, this thing is pretty much brand new. So if you're interested, it's gonna be on my eBay page. Go check it out. Give me a few. I have dust everywhere because I was sanding these buttons from the inside and cutting them to make them fit properly. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lens, and I'm gonna put the back sticker on, and give me a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, there she is. She is in. Now, together we're gonna look to see if I have any debris back here. So let's take a look, all of us. I don't know, what do y'all say? I'm gonna look with my naked eye, so if I'm not on the screen, I'm sorry. That looks good to me. I don't have no debris. We are debris-less. So good. Successful. Successful. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this on, so I'm gonna get fingerprints on it so y'all get the first touch of that glass lens. So anyway, man, this actually looks really good. I'm gonna keep pressing it down real quick. But there we go. A red on red Game Boy Advance. The sticker, right. Ooh, that battery cover kind of got on there pretty good. Oh, this sticker. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna cut and I'll be back. Okay, I am back with the ending of this red on red Game Boy Advance. So this Game Boy had a fallen, I don't know what that is. I think it's a chip. Well, it's gotta be a chip. It had a fallen chip that I put back in there. So this was actually a repair. So this is a refurbished one. If I was to put in somewhere, because the speaker wasn't working and I had that fallen chip right there. But you know, this is the end product right here. You know, we got working buttons. It's working the way it should. We got a upgraded version 3 IPS screen. Wish I had an amp. I ran out of amps. I'm just waiting for those to come in. They're not in stock right now. They will be in stock. I think they said November 14, and then when I order them, they take about a couple of days for them to come in. Maybe a week or a week and a half. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Here is a red on red Game Boy Advance, and as you can see, I got my sticker on, and it is pretty much brand new. I think I will be calling this one refurbished, since I actually had to do some work on it to get it fixed. So it's gonna go on my eBay as refurbished and not used. Usually the ones that I put on, they go for used. If I do a little work on them, like, you know, if I have to replace or fix, you know, a fallen component, then I will consider that as a refurbished. So this is gonna be a refurbished Game Boy Advance, red on red. Look for it on my eBay page. And I hope y'all like this video. If y'all do, and if y'all are new to this channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And until the next video, I'll catch you then. See ya.